My beloved, a secret delivery from heaven has already been wrapped in glory, already sealed with your name, and it is making its way to your soul right now. Archangel Michael is personally escorting it, not a lesser angel, not a messenger sent in his place, Archangel Michael himself. And you need to understand why, because this tells you everything about what is coming. This is not a common blessing. This is a rare one, the kind that breaks generational curses, the kind that shifts the entire trajectory of a life, not just one area of it, the kind that you thought you would never receive because nothing seemed to change, no matter how long you waited, no matter how faithfully you prayed, no matter how many times you chose to hold on when everything in you wanted to let go. But tonight is different. The moment it finally appears has arrived, and the moment is now. I need you to hear something before we go any further. Your heart is beating a little differently right now, is it not? There is something stirring in your chest that you cannot fully explain with logic. A warmth, an anticipation, a quiet but undeniable sense that something is happening. That is not your imagination, that is your spirit receiving the announcement before your eyes can see the evidence. Because that is always how heaven works. The soul gets the news first. The eyes witness it afterward. Archangel Michael said something specific about you. He said they will be so happy tonight if they listen now. They will get down on their knees in shock. That is how real this is. He said, God did not give this to you until you were strong enough to hold it. And you are strong enough now. You may not feel like it. You may look back at everything you have been through and wonder how strength could possibly be the word that describes what remains. But Michael sees something you have not yet been able to fully see in yourself, and what he sees made him smile. This is a divine announcement disguised as a congratulation. If you open what is being placed in your hands right now with faith rather than fear, it will elevate you in ways you have not been able to imagine from where you are currently standing. Before we go any further, I want you to do something that matters right now. Press the like button with your finger. This is not just a gesture to a channel. This is an act of faith. Every time you press like, you are telling heaven that you agree with what is being released. You are creating a pathway for divine favor to flow into your life. And it will begin tonight. Then go to the comments and write one word. Amen. Not as a casual response. Your soul is agreeing with what is already happening in heaven when you write it. You are synchronizing your voice with the angels who are already celebrating your name. You are spreading faith into the spiritual atmosphere. The miracle draws closer because you let it. Go ahead, press like and write Amen. Then come back, because what comes next is the fullness of what Michael was sent to deliver. Before we go deeper into what was announced from heaven, I want to speak to you plainly for a moment. This channel and this work exist for one purpose: to find the person who is carrying something sacred and has been waiting longer than they should have had to wait, for the confirmation that heaven has not forgotten them. That is why you are here. And that is why this message found you. Sustaining this kind of ministry takes genuine commitment and genuine resources. It is kept alive entirely by the direct support of people who received something real through it and chose to give back. If something in these opening words already stirred something deep in you, something that felt like recognition rather than information, please support this mission through the Ko-fi link in the pinned comment below. You are not supporting a channel. You are investing in a space that heaven is using to reach his chosen ones at their most pivotal moments. The link is pinned. Give from wherever your heart says yes. Now let me take you fully into the verdict that heaven has rendered over your life. My beloved child, heaven has made its choice. The courtroom of eternity has issued its verdict, and the decree is this: bless this one completely, right away, without any further delay, without any more pain standing in the way, without any more fear being permitted to block what belongs to them. That is the verdict. That is what was signed. That is what Archangel Michael is carrying personally to your door right now, because it is too significant, too specific, and too long overdue to be entrusted to any lesser carrier. And here is something I want you to hold on to. You did not end up here by accident. You did not stumble across this message randomly. You were summoned. There was a whisper that came before you clicked here, before you pressed play, before your eyes found the first word. A whisper that came from heaven itself saying, wait, this one is almost ready. And because you answered that whisper, because your spirit recognized the call even before your mind could explain it, you are exactly where heaven needed you to be at this exact moment. You could have scrolled past, many people did. Others felt the pull and ignored it, but you did not. And Michael says that matters. He says you did not come this far to be only one step away from your miracle and miss it. You got here because somewhere in you, underneath the exhaustion and the doubt and the nights where the ceiling seemed to have more answers than prayer did, something in you always knew this was different, and it is. Now let me tell you what happens when you fully embrace what is being placed in your hands tonight. The first thing that will change is the pressure in your chest. That specific heaviness that has been sitting there, the one that follows you into sleep and greets you when you wake, will begin to lighten almost immediately. Not because your circumstances have all resolved overnight, because something in the spiritual atmosphere around your life has shifted, and your body will register that shift before your mind can put words to it. The second thing that will happen is that someone who has been thinking about you, someone who has been holding back what they wanted to say, will finally say it. There has been a person in your life, or someone moving toward your life, who has carried a feeling for you that fear has been keeping inside. That fear is dissolving. The words are gathering, and they are heading in your direction. The third thing is that something that has been stuck, locked, or suspended for what feels like far too long, something in your circumstances, in a relationship, in a plan, in an opportunity that seemed to have gone completely cold, will begin to move again. The delay was not permanent. The suspension was not the final state. Heaven is releasing what was on hold. The fourth thing is about resources. Money that you did not know was coming. Provision that arrives through a path you did not anticipate. Financial movement that does not follow the logic of your current situation will begin to show up. This will not wait for some distant future date. Michael says there will be signs of it before you even go to sleep tonight. And the fifth thing is this. A peace will come over you that has no obvious explanation. In the middle of circumstances that still have some unresolved pieces, in a season that has not yet fully transformed, a calm will arrive that only belongs to someone who has heard from heaven and believed what they heard. These are not wishes. Michael is not making promises he cannot keep. He is making statements about what is already decided. Your miracle is not hoping to arrive. It has arrived. It is only waiting for you to agree. Go to the comments and write this right now. I receive it now. Not I hope to receive it. Not maybe someday. I receive it now. Present tense. Full agreement. Let that declaration go up as a sound that the spiritual world responds to. Because it will. My beloved, I need to talk to you about the timing. Because I know that one of the things that has been hardest to carry in this season is not just the waiting, but the not understanding why. Why now and not sooner? Why this long? Why you, who have been faithful, still here, still believing, had to endure what you endured while others seemed to move forward without the same resistance? Archangel Michael says this miracle was delayed on purpose. Not randomly, not carelessly. On purpose, because heaven was still working on the hearts of others around you. Some people connected to your story were not yet ready. Some chains in the lives of people your breakthrough would touch had not yet been broken. Some hidden things were still in the dark that needed to be brought to light before your moment could arrive without those things contaminating it. But right now that work is complete. Heaven has cleared the way, and the verdict can now be executed. There is something else Michael revealed about the timing that I want you to hear, because it will change the way you understand every moment of delay you experienced. He said that if you had received this blessing even a month earlier, you would have fumbled it. Not because you were not worthy, but because you were not yet fully ready to hold it without dropping it. You would have questioned it. You would have doubted yourself in ways that would have cost you what heaven was trying to give you. You might have shared it with the wrong person and had it undermined before it could fully take root. You might have received it with gratitude, but not with the depth of recognition that sustains it through the seasons that follow. But now the preparation is complete. Now you are someone different. Now you no longer beg. You issue the command. You no longer chase. You attract. You no longer plead for people to see your worth. You know your worth and you carry it differently. And you no longer settle for what is available when what is assigned is still coming. The version of you that endured this season is the version that can carry what is being released. Look at what you are made of now. You helped people even when you had very little left for yourself. You prayed prayers in your head when you were too exhausted to say them out loud. You chose to keep going when the voice of doubt was louder than any outside encouragement. You held on to something invisible when everything visible was telling you to let go. Heaven saw all of it. Michael saw all of it. And now heaven answers. This is not a maybe. This was written into the design of your life before you were born. Every person who left, every door that shut, every breakdown that felt like it was destroying you. All of it was preparing a way for what is now being given. The delivery is taking place right now, as these words enter your spirit. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Michael says that staying connected to what heaven is releasing through this channel is not a casual choice. When you click subscribe, you are telling heaven that you are ready for more, that you want to keep aligning yourself with what is being released, that you are open to the prophetic downloads that will continue to arrive. Subscribe and seal your alignment. I want to pause here for a moment, because what comes next in this message is the part that most people in a long season need more than almost anything else. It is the part about what Archangel Michael has been doing around you, unseen for longer than you have realized. It is about the 7 angels gathered around your name. It is about the spiritual clearing that has been happening in the atmosphere of your life to make room for something too holy to be in the presence of noise. And it is about the blessing that has been waiting, not just for months or years, but for generations, for someone exactly like you to be strong enough to receive it without being overwhelmed. This channel exists because heaven uses voices to reach the people it designates, and reaching those people consistently and faithfully requires resources. If this ministry has been a voice that found you when other voices could not reach you, if something in these words has been the confirmation your spirit was waiting for, please support this work through the Ko-fi link in the pinned comment below. What you plant into something heaven is using always returns to you in forms you did not plan for. The link is pinned. Give from the place that just stirred when it read that it was chosen. Now let me take you into what Michael has been doing around your life. My dear one, Archangel Michael has something specific. He wants me to tell you about what has been happening around you while you are simply trying to get through each day. There are 7 angels gathered around your name right now. 7. Not because this is a symbolic number chosen for effect, but because what is being released over your life required an escort of that magnitude. Michael says rejoicing can be heard among them. They are celebrating what has already been decided. They know what is coming, and they are preparing the way for your reception of it with the kind of joy that only beings who understand the full weight of what a person has endured can feel when they see that person finally stepping into their moment. But there is one angel whose expression is different. Not sorrowful exactly, more like the protective ache of a guardian who has watched closely and who cares deeply. This angel watched the times when you almost gave up, the specific moments when you were one step away from releasing what you were holding and walking away from the faith that was sustaining you. It was just one sign from that angel that kept you in those moments, a warmth you could not explain, a sudden thought that interrupted the despair at exactly the right second, a quiet knowing that arrived like a whisper through the noise. That was not coincidence. That was this angel staying, refusing to leave your side even when you could not see or feel the presence. And now, that angel is afraid of one thing only. Afraid you will not believe this is real. Afraid you will read these words and let the voice of logic or the voice of past disappointment convince you that this is too good to be true. Michael says, please do not let that happen. Not now. You have already come through the hardest part. Do not close your hand on the threshold of receiving. Now I want to tell you about what Michael has been doing throughout this day. In the hours leading up to this moment, he has been following you. You could feel it, could you not? A quality in the air, a sense of something present. Moments that felt significant, even when nothing specifically significant was happening. Things catching your attention. Thoughts arriving that seemed larger than the ordinary thoughts of an ordinary day. Signs and songs and numbers and names that seemed to appear with a frequency just a little higher than usual. That was him, working around you. Clearing. Michael has been cleaning the spiritual atmosphere around your life. Removing residue left by seasons that should have been over by now. Sweeping away what he calls spiritual dust that had settled on your timeline. The accumulated weight of years of resistance and opposition, and attacks both seen and unseen. He was preparing the environment, because what is coming is too holy, too pure, and too significant to arrive in the middle of noise. It needed a clean landing place, and he has been building one around you all day. This blessing has been waiting a long time. It was not prepared last week or last year. Michael revealed something that I want you to sit with. This blessing has been preserved for generations, waiting for someone with the specific spiritual capacity to receive it without being destroyed by it. Something this pure, this powerful, this complete in what it covers, requires a vessel that has been tested, refined, and proven. Most people encountered this level of blessing before they were ready, and it overwhelmed them. Some questioned it away. Some gave it to the wrong hands. Some simply could not hold its weight. But you are different. The things you have been through shape something in you that is exactly what this level of blessing requires in the person who carries it. And heaven recognized that about you before you recognized it about yourself. That is why you were the one. That is why it was your name on the delivery. That is why Michael came personally. My beloved, I want to tell you something specific about what is being released, because the word restoration is used so often that it can start to feel like a general promise without specific content. Michael does not deal in generalizations. What he carries is specific, and what he is releasing over your life is specific. He said the word that came from heaven was this: bless them without limits. Restore them completely, not partially, not in one area while leaving others untouched, not with a measure of improvement that makes things slightly better. Completely. That word completely is the one that made heaven stand still for a moment when it was spoken. Because complete restoration is rare. It means nothing gets left behind in the process. Nothing that belongs to your full life remains in the season that is ending. What does that mean in the visible, physical reality of your daily life? It means you will not just get back what was taken from you, you will receive it multiplied. The financial resources that were blocked, the provision that seemed to evaporate before it could reach your hands, the money that went out but never seemed to come back in with the same consistency, will begin to return in waves. And those waves will be strong enough that before you have fully processed your own abundance, you will find yourself blessing someone else out of the overflow. That is not a distant future scenario. That is what complete financial restoration produces in the life of someone who has learned, through the waiting, how to steward what they receive. It means you will feel a love so pure that it will make you forget what it felt like to lie awake wondering if you were lovable. Not because the memory of loneliness will be erased, but because the new reality will be so present, so warm, so undeniably real, that the old contrast will stop having the same emotional authority over you. Someone is already carrying something toward you. Someone has been thinking about you, holding feelings they have not yet found the courage to speak, and the season of their courage has arrived. When they finally say what they have been holding, it will land in you differently than anything you have received before. because you are different now. And what you carry will draw a different quality of love toward you. It means that the opportunities you felt you missed, the chances that seemed to dissolve before you could take them, the moments where you could see the door but could not get through it in time, will return to you, not as regret. As divine appointments dressed in new forms, heaven does not waste what was designated for a chosen one. When the timing is not right, the opportunity does not disappear. It waits, and now the timing is right. What you thought was gone was being held. It means that the peace you thought was no longer available to you, the genuine settled quiet that you used to know before the weight of this season settled in, will come back. But it will not come back the way it was before. It will come back stronger, built on a foundation that your waiting season constructed brick by brick. The peace that comes after the storm that you survived is different from the peace that exists before the storm ever comes. It is grounded. It is tested. It is the peace of someone who found out that they could endure, and that knowledge changes how they live in quiet seasons. But Michael says something important about how miracles actually arrive. He says, do not look for lights flashing or dramatic announcements. Miracles show up as stillness, as a knowing that settles into you before the external evidence arrives, as subtle changes in the energy of a room when you walk into it, as the particular quality of a conversation that carries something heavier than its surface topic, as a payment that appears in your account without a clear explanation, as a calm that descends in the middle of circumstances that have not yet fully changed. That is how heaven moves, not in spectacle. In reality, and only people whose hearts are open can recognize it for what it is. That is why this message found you. That is why it reached you at this specific hour. And that is why, when the signs begin to appear tonight, you will recognize them for what they are, rather than explain them away. Go to the comments right now and type this: I am ready to receive. Write it with your whole heart. Let it be the declaration of someone who has moved past hope into expectation, past wishing into receiving. Type it as your agreement with the restoration that is already in motion. Beloved, you are still here. You stayed through the verdict, through the truth about the timing, through the clearing that Michael has been doing, through the revelation of what complete restoration actually looks like in specific, tangible terms. The fact that you stayed through all of that you have not looked away or scrolled past, tells heaven something important about who you are right now. You are the person this message was sent for, and you stayed long enough to prove it. This ministry was built for exactly this kind of person. The one who stays when staying costs something. The one who receives fully instead of halfway. The one who recognizes that what they are reading is not just content, but a word that was prepared for their specific season. Sustaining this kind of work requires consistent investment. If this channel has been one of the places heaven used to keep your faith alive, please support this mission through the Ko-fi link in the pinned comment below. Every contribution sustains a voice that is committed to finding the next chosen one at their most crucial moment. The link is pinned. Give from the place in you that just felt something shift. Now let me take you into the golden scroll that has your name written on it. My dear one, this message is more than a collection of encouraging words. Michael revealed something about the nature of what you are holding right now. He called it your scroll, your golden letter. The delivery of everything that was delayed, finally complete. You did not find this. Heaven sent it. It came down from a place where the decisions about your life have always been made, wrapped in the specific words that your spirit needed at this specific moment. Every word was chosen with your heart in mind, and because it was spoken into your life, it cannot go back empty. That is a principle that governs how heaven operates. When a word is released over a life, it carries the assignment of what it was sent to accomplish. And it does not stop working until that assignment is fulfilled. Even if your mind cannot fully comprehend it yet, even if doubt tries to creep in at the edges, the word that has entered your spirit will do what it was sent to do. Your name is carved into a door that has been shut for years. You have been standing in front of it, You have pressed your hand against it. You have asked why it would not open. You have wondered at different points whether it was meant for you after all, whether you had misread which door was yours. But Michael says the name on it was always yours. The door was not locked against you. It was locked until the right time. And the right time arrived tonight. When that door opens, and it is opening now, you will forget why you cried over it. There is a whisper from God that goes with this restoration that says this: do you understand now why I made you wait? Do you see now why I made you stronger before I gave you this? What is coming would stay with you forever, not leave you as other things have, because what you are about to receive could overwhelm someone who was not ready. But you are ready. You are not the same person you were, and heaven knows that now. That is the reason Michael came to announce this, not to make you feel good temporarily, but to announce a permanent shift. There may be a voice that tries to follow you into what comes next, a familiar voice that asks, what if it is not real? What if nothing changes? What if this is just another moment of hope that dissolves before it fully arrives? But Michael says to recognize that voice for exactly what it is. It is not wisdom. It is not discernment. It is not God. It is the ghost of your past trying to follow you into a future it does not belong in. Do not open the door for it. You are not the person who struggled in silence for all those years. That was one version of you. The version standing here now has been checked by heaven, found ready, and given permission to carry something holy. Lock the door on the old voice, not with resistance or struggle, simply with recognition. You know it now, you know what it is, and knowing it strips it of the authority it tried to claim over your choices. The person who listens, who believes, and who receives what heaven is releasing right now, is not the same person who went through all of that preparation. That preparation produced this person, and this person is ready. Beloved one, tonight is different. The winds in heaven have changed direction, and everything that was stuck, blocked, buried, or seemingly broken is being reversed. Heaven is not asking you to wait any longer for the beginning. You are inside the beginning right now. Let me tell you what to pay attention to tonight, because the signs are going to appear, and I want you to recognize them when they do rather than explain them away as coincidence. Because Michael says nothing that happens to you from this moment forward is coincidence. You are in the middle of a divine arrangement, and arrangements have specific, recognizable markers. You may notice that your heart beats faster at a particular moment tonight, for no reason connected to your circumstances. That is not anxiety. That is your spirit registering movement in the spiritual realm. Something is arriving. Your body knows it before your mind can see it. You may feel warmth in your hands, a physical sensation of something shifting in your physical body. Do not question it, receive it. It is the evidence of spiritual activity that your body is detecting. You may receive a message you were not expecting, something from someone who has been quiet, something from a direction you had given up watching, something that arrives at a time when you had put down the hoping. Pay attention to it. It is not random. It was orchestrated. You may see a number, a word, a song, a name that appears with the specific feeling of something placed rather than stumbled upon. That is Michael pointing, drawing your attention to confirm what he told you. He has been around you all day for exactly this reason. You may experience a sudden and inexplicable calm in the middle of a situation that would ordinarily have produced stress. That is the peace that comes with the territory of what is being released. That calm is the sign that something in the atmosphere has fundamentally shifted. The storm that has been circling your life is losing its momentum, and the stillness in the eye of it is becoming the stillness of resolution rather than the stillness of waiting. When you notice any of these things tonight, do not minimize them. Do not immediately try to find the logical explanation that reduces them to something ordinary. Do something different. Smile, say out loud, either in a whisper or with full voice, "Heaven kept its word." Let that acknowledgement enter the spiritual atmosphere around you. Because recognizing what heaven does is itself an act that heaven responds to. People around you are going to begin to respond to you differently. People who turned away from you before will feel drawn back. People who overlooked you will find themselves paying attention. People who walked away and convinced themselves they did not need you will find themselves wondering why they thought that. Not because you changed how you present yourself to them, because the covering on your life is changing. Because what Archangel Michael placed on you has the quality of a crown, and people can feel the weight of that even when they cannot name it. You are entering a season of easy arrival. A season that does not require the same level of striving that the previous season demanded. Heaven is not asking you to fight anymore. The battle is over. The victory is signed. The only thing left is for you to receive what has been prepared and walk into the life that has been waiting for you to be ready to live it. Now there is something I need you to do that seals what is being released over you and extends it into the lives of the people connected to you. Send this message to at least 3 people who need to hear that heaven has not forgotten them. Not because sharing benefits the channel, because when you share what is holy from a place of genuine recognition, the anointing that is on you extends through your act of giving into the lives of the people who receive it. And heaven has a specific response to that kind of generosity. Your own breakthrough speeds up. Your own miracle accelerates. Your cup overflows, not just to your brim but beyond it, because you chose to be a carrier of what you received, rather than a container that holds it only for yourself. Press share now. Be the messenger. Watch how quickly your own testimony follows. My beloved, you are almost at the final words of this message, and I need to pause here one more time before we close, because what I am about to speak over you in the closing is the decree, the final word, the thing that seals everything that has been said tonight. But before those final words, I want to ask you one last time to support this mission. Every message prepared for this channel is built with a genuine burden for the person receiving it. The hours of preparation, the sustained commitment to creating content that reaches chosen ones in their most pivotal seasons. None of that sustains itself without support. If this word has done something in you tonight, something specific, something that you will remember when the signs begin to appear, please honor that through the Ko-fi link in the pinned comment below. Give from the place in you that is about to step into a season of overflow. A seed planted on the threshold of your blessing carries a specific power. The link is pinned and waiting. Now let me bring you into the decree that closes what heaven opened tonight. My dear one, my beloved child, here is the final truth that Archangel Michael carried to your door tonight. You are about to enter a season of easy arrival. The season you are leaving behind was characterized by effort that did not always produce proportional results. By faith that was sustained without visible confirmation. By strength applied to a door that would not move. That season formed you. It built something inside you that cannot be built any other way. But it is closing now. The season opening in front of you is different in its fundamental nature. In this season, you do not beg anymore. You do not beg for resources to come to you, for people to recognize your worth, for doors to respond to your effort. You have moved past the energy of begging. You issue the command. You speak to what belongs to you from a place of knowing. You do not chase, you attract. What is designated for you in this season is drawn to you by the alignment of your life with your assignment, not by your effort to close the gap between you and it. You do not force. What is meant for you does not require force to receive. It arrives because the timing is right and because you are positioned to receive it. Your role is not to manufacture the blessing. Your role is to remain aligned, remain open, and remain present when it arrives. You stop doubting. The voice of doubt is not a form of wisdom. It is an attempt to make you behave in ways that interrupt what heaven is releasing. And now that you know that, now that you recognize the ghost of your past for what it is when it shows up, you have a power over it you did not have before. You simply do not give it the authority it is asking for, only receiving, only blooming, only becoming. Heaven heard your yes tonight. Archangel Michael heard it, and God responded in the way that only God responds to a yes spoken from a place of genuine faith after a long season of genuine endurance. He stood up. He moved on your behalf, and what is already in motion cannot be stopped by anything that did not originate with him. Here is what I need from you before you leave this space, like this message right now, if you have not already. Not as a gesture to an algorithm, as your act of faith, your agreement with what has been released, your declaration to heaven that you received this word and you are standing in it. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications. When you click subscribe, you are telling heaven that you are ready to keep receiving, that the prophetic alignment that is beginning tonight is not a one-time event, but an ongoing flow that you want to stay connected to. The messages that are coming through this channel carry specific guidance for specific phases of the season you are entering. Do not miss them because you were not subscribed. Subscribe and stay. Share this message with at least 3 people tonight. You know who needs this. The person who is lying awake right now, wondering if heaven remembers their name. The person who is one sign away from giving up. The person who has been faithful and invisible, and is carrying something that nobody else around them can see. Send this to them directly. When you pass what is holy from your hands into theirs, the anointing that is on you travels with it, and what you give multiplies back into your own life in a way that will surprise you with its speed. And go to the comments one final time. Write these words: I will be very happy tonight. Write it as a declaration of a person who received a word from heaven, believed it, and is now choosing to live in that belief before the visible evidence fully arrives. Write it as the seal on everything that was spoken over you tonight. Write it as your Amen. Say it out loud right now. I will be very happy tonight. Not quietly, not with reservation, with the full, settled confidence of someone who just heard from Archangel Michael, directly, and chose to believe every word of it. You are loved. You were chosen before you understood what that meant. You endured something that was building something in you that could not have been built any other way. And now the building is complete. The cover is lifting, the door is opening, and your golden letter is in your hands. Go forward in the knowledge that you are not entering tomorrow the same way you entered today. Something has changed, something permanent, something that carries your name. Archangel Michael smiles. Heaven is at peace about you, and you will be very, very happy tonight. Go live in what just opened.